How do consumer choices impact human rights? We affect human rights by eating food and wearing clothes that were made by trafficking and slavery victims. By buying products made by slaves, we are supporting people who pay workers low wages. We are supporting forced labor, slavery, and human trafficking. Social enterprises can act as a form of rehabilitation for survivors in high traffic communities. Through the creation of mass market jobs and product opportunities, there are a lot of shocking statistics tied to human trafficking, but two statistics you may not see as often as that 95% of trafficked victims over the age of 18 were unemployed, and 57% never received a form of education. We are supporting these statistics.
Bad news is that there are many problems facing our population in 2014, but the good news is that there are plenty of solutions to them. A few solutions include donating money to charities that help people around the world with their problems, such as natural disasters they went through or poverty, following campaigns about the different problems, hosting events to raise awareness, or educating yourself about the problem and then educating others about it as well. Also, we could bring in people to educate schools about the problems of the world and how serious they actually are. This would be big because we would be teaching the children the future of the world about serious subjects and how they can do something about it instead of sitting around doing nothing. Being an active part of your community is also something you could do to raise awareness of problems facing our population in 2014 and on. By being an active part of your community, you could be distributing flyers, volunteering hours to raise awareness, or starting awareness groups in your community. One of the best ways to help fight against the problems our population faces in 2014 without donating anything or volunteering hours is to be a conscientious buyer. Fair trade products are a good way to be a conscientious buyer because by buying things like fair trade products, you are supporting the small farmers and their businesses. Fair trade products also help fight against poverty, human trafficking, and forced labor by supporting small farmers. That way they don't have to worry about the competition of big farmers and having to sell their crops for lower prices. Supporting the farmers helps keep their businesses going and it helps them avoid debt. And by avoiding debt, they don't go into poverty, get forced to work, or force their kids to get married for money. By being a conscientious buyer, you could be helping farmers get the money they deserve. Being a conscientious buyer also means trying to avoid clothing companies, shoe companies, and just about any company that forces their workers to work long hours and in return pay them next to nothing at all. By doing all of these things, you could help support people all around the world and help end a lot of the problems our world faces.
Slavery in the form it takes. The definition of slavery is that slavery is a system where people are treated as property and are forced to work. The definition of being bonded is that you sell someone and in return for that money the person sold will work. Some forms of slavery and being bonded are debt bondage, forced and bonded labor, prostitution, sweatshops, domestic servitude, forced marriage, and being manipulated by close friends and family. 46% of trafficking victims were recruited by people that they know.
How many people are slaves? There are still at least 12.3 million people that are slaves today. About 14,500 to 17,500 people are trafficked into the United States annually. 600,000 to 800,000 are trafficked across borders worldwide annually. 70% of the people trafficked are women, and 50% of them are children. Human trafficking is the third largest international crime industry. Human trafficking makes $32 billion per year. $15 billion of that is made in industrialized countries.